Penn State getting set to head towards Maryland for their first conference matchup of the season. An 8 p.m. kick time on Friday as we visit with former Penn State quarterback himself, Matt McGloin. I'm Mitch Gerber. Matt, first conference matchup of the season. I know you've had the opportunity to kind of go and look at some tape and stuff, but what intrigues you about this matchup?
Well, it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere, first off. Blackout theme crowd by Maryland. Friday classes are canceled in College Park, so it's going to be a really, really great way for Penn State to open up conference play. It's going to be loud, but I think it's important for Penn State to get out and get an early jump on this Maryland football team.
You referenced the noise, and that's something so often that Coach Franklin emphasizes, but how do you prepare for that as a former quarterback yourself?
Well, you hear the speakers out here today, blast music, blast music. But there's really no way to kind of prepare for it as well. You just have to go out there, understand what's going on, eyes, make sure everybody is listening to you, make sure everybody's paying attention to you. In that huddle, 11 guys on the same page, playing together. Most importantly though, if you go out and you march down the football field and score, that will take the crowd out of it early.
When it comes to Penn State's offense at 8 o'clock p.m. on Friday night, what's going to allow them to get that fast, quick start and hopefully march down the field and silence that crowd right away?
I think something that we've seen the past few weeks from this offense is they are somewhat of a slow starting football team. I think these past 2 weeks they've really been trying to transition and let's go out there, let's get an early jump on these guys. Let's just play consistent football, let's inch our way down the field, let's gain first downs, keep our offense on the field. They've lost the time of possession battle in the last 2 matchups. I think that's something Maryland knows. Maryland's going to try to run the football early and establish that run game with Anthony McFarland Jr., who has been good for Maryland. But I think if Penn State can play well on offense and, like I said, get an early jump, that they can take Maryland right out of this game early.
One of the big things so far for this offensive unit is 12 for 12 conversion rate in the red zone, 9 of those turning resulting in touchdowns. So I want to know from your aspect of things, what's allowed for that success to happen in the red zone so far this season?
I think it's just guys playing well together, understanding when you get in the red zone, you have to score touchdowns. It's almost a disappointment when you kick a field goal, but if you want to make changes and make a big impact in the Big Ten, you got to score when you're near the goal line.
Let's shift to the other side of the football. Penn State defensively allowing just 10 points on average per game this season, while Maryland's defense is allowing just over 13 points per game. But for you, when it comes to the Penn State defense, you mentioned Anthony McFarland, and obviously Maryland's going to try to rush the ball down Penn State's throat, but how do you limit his opportunities?
You have to tackle well. And Penn State has done that, especially the secondary. The secondary is fantastic tacklers here. But what I think is the front 7 is really going to need to attack this Maryland offensive line. Their offensive line was very thin to begin with. They just lost one of their very good offensive linemen to an MCL injury. So I think this front 7 is going to be aware of that. I think they're going to attack early and often and do everything they can to, like I said, avoid Anthony McFarland making big plays for Maryland.
Let's do something a little bit different. So I want you to kind of pick a player of the game. If you're a Penn State fan watching out there, pick somebody, whether it's offensively or defensively, that these fans should watch for come Friday night.
I love Tariq Castro-Fields. I think he's shown up big time for this Penn State secondary. He covers so well, he tackles so well, constantly making impacts. I'm doing the radio with Steve and Jack. I feel like they're always saying his name. So he's a guy to definitely keep your eye out for, but I think he makes everybody around him better. He brings energy. He's motivated. I mean, half the time I'm on the sideline, I want to run out into the field and start playing defense. I never played defense in my life, Mitch, but it's exciting to watch this guy, but I think he can really make an impact on the road Friday.
Well, Castro-Field's also a guy from Maryland, so he's going to have plenty of family and friends in the crowd, so that should be fun for him as he prepares for that one. The guys are getting warmed up behind us. They're finishing their final preparations, as you can see there, but Penn State going to kick things off Friday nights at 8 p.m. over in College Park, Maryland. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you in College Park.
All right.